Welcome friends, we'll continue our discussion on startup ideas. This class we are going to focus on how to validate the ideas, how to validate the techniques, how to validate your idea. So daily we'll get millions of ideas and somewhere in the very moment we'll realize that it will not work. But some ideas we have the hunch feeling that it may work. So if you put on paper, the moment the idea strikes paper, you yourself will realize that this is going to be possibility of the idea is working or not. So is there a scientific way that we can validate a idea, particularly for a company startup ideas? Okay, this theory generally applies for any ideas, but our class is focused on the ideas that pertains to a startup ideas. So luckily there are few techniques how to validate our ideas so that our risk is less. If you don't validate your idea and directly launch your product, it will be very disastrous. So this is disclaimer about this topic and the author. This is about the my profile. So what is an idea validation? Okay, this is called in the business terms market validation of idea. Normally idea may be good, but there can be a situation where there is no market for that idea. Means the implementation of that idea into a product may be very costly and people cannot afford it, or the idea is not solving fully the problem, only partially it is addressing, or people are not believing that this particular product will solve the problem. So there can be like that many reasons why even though idea is good, it may not be a marketable idea. So what we are thinking of the marketable idea. Then how to determine? The first principle of market validation is talking with the real people. So customer interviews, okay, that is what kind of customer? Customer is, in your opinion, who is likely to buy your buyer? He is the customer. So talk with the real people and get to know the pulse of the market, what he wants, what features he wants, at what cost this product is, what is his current problem. First of all, it should solve a problem. Then only this can be a product. Unless it is not solving a problem, there will not be any significant market for this. So in the next few slides, we will discuss about the scientific methods of how to rapidly test your startup idea. Okay. So as we explained, it can be tested quickly by talking to real people, that is the potential buyers. That is the technique. Okay. Just simple act of writing forces us to consider things that you may have previously glossed over. Okay. But we are not talking about the writing whole business plan. Whole business plan is who is the accountant, how many sales personnel we should recruit, what are the regions we'll expand. Not that. We are not talking about at all the business plan, but the applicability of the idea, the salability of the idea. That's what we are saying. So put down that idea on a paper. Okay. Actually, which will get changed after we interact with the prospective customers and all that too. It will get significant modifications. Okay. We have to answer few questions, and we for some things we'll have some assumptions before during the idea stage we'll go with some assumptions, but very soon we have to go to the market and test these assumptions. They are right. Suppose if you don't test this assumption and they are found to be invalid assumptions, then you cannot sell your product in the market. So it is imperative that we test this business idea with the real people. Suppose you say, who is your customer? If the answer is everyone, then we are in trouble. So everyone cannot be my customer. My customer can be who is desperately looking for a particular product. He has a problem. To solve this problem, he is willing to invest money to overcome that problem, and there is a real need for that product in the market. Okay. If you say everyone, then it is not a right answer. But more so, we have to be more specific. See, suppose I want to sell my products to business houses. Business houses, I cannot simply say business houses. Which kind of business? Are the business houses who are engaged in the construction business? Are the business houses who are in the retail? Are the business houses are in the overseas trade? So, which specific segment of the customer you are going to address? That we should know to design a product to suit their needs. Otherwise, it will be a arrow throwing in a darkness. So it can hit humanity. We see many entrepreneurs simply work on the features of their invention and launch the product, assuming that everybody needs this product and it can get sold. When trouble comes and trying to sell it, people say, I don't want this product, I'm not in need of this product. Unless market need is there, there is no sales. Unless there is a sales, business cannot sustain. So, yes, it is important to be specific and thorough about the features of that product. But first of all, is there a market for this? That is a more significant question before we launch, because we have to put a lot of investment and effort, time to launch this product. Suppose there is no market for this product, the whole effort will be zero. Normally, we see the product gets sold when it solves some problem, right? Only fancy features, kind of the devices or services will not solve the problem. It should solve real problem, right? Suppose there is a car which is causing city pollution. We should have a product which is having lesser pollution than the existing car, say electric car or whatever hydrogen fuel based car. We should really solve a problem, then only there will be market. But if I give more features for the existing car, that much sales may not come. Okay, it can sell some extent, but it cannot be real big point for sales. So there can be some kind of quantitative changes or qualitative changes. Quantitative change means if I buy my product, the customer saves time. Time is money, everybody knows. So then that can be, it is a potential sale point. Or it may be easier or untrained person to operate this machine. Then the machine will have more sales because it is making life easier for the customer. So it should be some betterment to the existing thing. That means it should solve some problem. Then only there could be some market. As we explained, the features need to be more than cool. Cool features, no, that is not a selling point. Cool features is an additional attraction. It's a bonus. But main features were not the cool features. Cool features always solve certain specific problems. Okay, suppose one car, existing electrical cars were giving mileage of only 150 miles per charge. If I invent a car which gives 300 miles per a charge, then that is a selling point. But instead of 2 side mirrors, 4 side mirrors if I give, that is not a real sellable point. Yes, it may slightly increase the sales, but it should really improve certain thing like a specific mileage or a life or a less cost or more easy to drive. Some kind of improvement it definitely say. It is measurable, like time saved, money saved. Such kind of thing you can easily showcase to customer. How to conclude whether my market survey, my target customer is concluded or not, or further extend this consultation with the potential customers before launch of the product. There can never be 100% perfect market analysis. Okay, so 80-20 rule is good enough. Means if you get answers to 80% of the problems, or 80% of the your questionnaire is satisfactorily answered, then you can take that risk and launch the product and refine while the product is launched or in the first round of sales. But if you try to perfect it by having prolonged discussion with the customer and then try to get 100%, then too much time will be lost and you will be nowhere. So 80-20 rule is normally followed by entrepreneurs, particularly startups, to decide when to stop. So there shall be a point where this market trials, market investigation shall stop. So 80% is a reasonable approximation. So most people stop at 80% level of satisfaction. So some of the startups got bogged down in unnecessary details, whether eastern region and western region sales office shall be merged or there shall be independent offices, or whether all girls should be appointed as salespeople or all boys shall be appointed, or what is the age of the average salesman to be. So those details were trivial at the startup stage. Those details can be later on improved or worked out. So you should go with some guesses and hunch feeling and launch your idea. Main idea is whether the idea is sellable in the market. So you should focus on that kind of investigation rather than too much business detail. Okay, so you should go with certain assumptions and test them in the real life rather than get bogged down in trivial details, which in some first place we may not be required to be facing at all in the real situation. So yes, assumptions are made. Now there is a time to test those assumptions. So you should test those assumptions with the potential customers. Okay, that is called lean market validation. Okay, this is really relies on the customer interviews with a potential buyer. Which are the customers? They are like potential buyers of product. So who are they? Can be consultants, they can be industry specialists, or they are the one whom your competitor was selling. So you have to get to the list of the people who are your likely buyers. Okay, they have the good knowledge to give feedback. So suppose it's a digital idea, there is another inexpensive ways of finding the feedback. Okay, like polls and all that. Nowadays there is a WhatsApp poll and all that. So that can be also tried out in an inexpensive way. But it is very important to interview your potential customers and check the validity of your assumptions. Now, it is not very easy to find prospective clients. Yes, it is in a business. Finding a prospective client is 30% of the job is done. So it is not an easy task. So it may start with your network. That means your close friends, relatives, mentors, your guides, your professors, your neighbors, such kind of known people. But there is a downside to this. Interviewing the known people will not get accurate results because they are sympathetic to your cause. They may concede some of the valid feedback points in a feeling that you may get hurt if they really reveal those things what they observed. But since we don't have any direct method of approaching a real prospective clients, we should start just for practice purpose with our relatives, with our friends, with our colleagues, with our bosses. So like that, and with our neighbors. So will know at least what to ask and what are the first kind of set of reactions are. So then, but while doing this, we should be fully aware that the feedback that is coming has a potential bias that is favoring us. So my relatives and all may say, what our product, yes, good, it may work, go ahead, like that. They may encourage us, but it has a bias because there is a they are always sympathetic to me and they will say nice things to me. But you should be knowing before attempting this with relatives or friends that whatever they are saying should not be taken at face value. You should cross check this kind of, yes, it is excellent idea. Then you should put a second question, why? Then they will tell the reason. If that reason is convincing, yes, whatever coming from is somewhat close to the reality. So it is not just cursory questions. It is, yes, you should have a checklist, you should have a template, you should have a set of questions, okay, to ask. But you should not be blind to the set of questions. It will be, you will get caught in a comical situations. For example, I am giving one example just. Suppose you will go and ask a man, are you married? Yes, he says married. Then you will ask, next question in your questionnaire is, how many children do you got? But suppose you met a unmarried man, your first question is, are you married? He will say, no, I am not married. You should not blindly go to second question. That second question is, how many children do you have? So this lands you in a comical situation. So the example here is to enlighten us that you have to listen to the answer of the first question and accordingly you should change your second question, modulate the second question, not one by one fire the 10 questions one after other. Then you will be in a comical situation. So first ask a question, listen to his reply, understand it, then modulate your second question. Otherwise, he will be in real trouble. Ask why. Okay. People tell on the spot hunch feeling that as a reason. But if they ask you follow up with a question that why you are feeling so, why you are saying this, why, what is the reason, what feature of this product you like. So if you put a further why question, why is a very, very important question. If you put a question why, real reasons will come out. They will also think and try to give why they told yes. Okay, otherwise they may come out saying that I want to just encourage you. That's why I said it is a good product. But now let me think about the reasons internally why I like this product, and then the real reasons come. So why is a very important question. When you are in doubt, ask why. What feature of this product you like, and why do you think this product can be sold to business houses. So you put a question why, then that is you will get a real reasons. Value proposition. Value proposition is a quantitative or can be qualitative also. Normally if it is quantitative, suppose you say by buying my product you save 30% of your expenses. That can be easily measurable, demonstrable. So, or you will save this much time. Earlier you are taking for this operation half an hour. Now you can do it in 20 minutes. Means 10 minutes is measurable, and so that is more easy to convince. There can be some qualitative reasons. For example, while you by buying this product, you need not struggle to look at up and down and turn pages to find the what is the day of the month on which Sunday falls. So it is at glance, it is all programmed such a way that you can easily navigate. So that is kind of a qualitative thing that needs a little bit tough to get a feedback on that whether it is really qualitative improvement because not measurable. If it is a measurable thing, you can easily demonstrate and get convince the customer. If it is qualitative, it changes from person to person, and also how much is difficult to quantify. But it is also a selling point. Qualitative things, not that it is not important, it do sell. Sometimes people like the idea, but when it comes to buying that product, they may not be willing to buy that product because it is not time tested, it is not validated, they don't have money, or they are okay with the current product. Many reasons. So liking the idea does not necessarily be assumed to be that they are willing to buy this product. So there is a vast difference between liking the idea and buying the product. But liking the idea is the first step in buying the product. So there are 5, 6 more steps to actually buying that product. Liking the idea first, then whether they are convinced about the cost of the product and the benefits which are acquiring from this product, they will internally assess and also compare with the alternative products. Then also they will see the current financial status and they will also decide whether they go for a loan for this or they will upfront spend some money. So many other ways. Some people may buy if it is given on EMI. So like that. So then they will also see whether it is seen as a socially more elevated status. If they buy that product, the society should be seen that he is more, say, device savvy kind of image he is creating. So those other factors also play a role. So there is a vast difference between the liking idea and actually willing to buy this product. So there are steps in between. So we have to create the situation and assess whether the, ours is not, our survey is not just for liking the idea, our survey is whether this is sellable, this product is sellable. So we have to investigate the other steps also. What makes this product sell? What I should do to improve this product so that it can be sold. So if you have to see in the discussion what we had, we have to validate the market whether this product is sellable. Okay. So at what cost? If it is sellable, at what cost? And also what additional improvements are required in this product to make it sellable. Also, we have to find out who are our potential customers. Because suppose I have to advertise this for this product, I have to know where it should be advertised. Either it should be advertised in international journals, or it should be billboards on the city corners, or it is to be put in the on the way to airport bill hoardings, or is it to be some pamphlets to be printed and distributed, or it should be some presentations to be given for learned society, like seminars and all to be conducted to bring awareness this product, or shall I offer some incentives to buy this like loans, EMIs and such things. So what makes this product to sell? So that is the survey we are going to attempt. So as we discussed important aspects of this survey, the first point we learned is we have to talk with the real customers and we have to catch hold of the decision makers after the customers. Suppose you have to sell to big company, all are not decision makers. You have to catch hold of that person, that key person who is in charge of that decision. So you should convince him. Suppose he is not accessible, you have to approach his subordinates and lower level people, present them and convince them and move up the ladder to reach that person who is the decision maker to explain his product and sell. Once you explain his product, suppose he liked that idea and ready to buy, but there may be some other people to be considered like finance and all. So you should request him, arrange a meeting with that particular people to take it further. So the first one who helped us in the idea should be willing to probably willing to help us in the next step. So we should logically move from the next step to next step. Like that finally it becomes a sale, right? So you should also, sometimes it is possible when you are presented to top man, there may be some technical people observing this presentation in his team, like his technical advisor or his PA or somebody. So it is nothing wrong in asking them the feedback. What is the meaning of this reaction? What is the thing? Whether, in your opinion, whether the boss liked this idea. So you can get a indirect cues if you approach the people who has observed your presentation to him. So even actually, the recommended method is you should have this idea presentation in three forms. One presentation which can be given in 5 seconds, just on the way in the lift or a corridor, you just say that I have a business potential which saves 30% of the cost on transportation, like that. Then it will provoke further interest. Sometimes they will be giving 5 minutes time. So means a small presentation can be made in 5 minutes, important feature and how you are going about. So not only benefits, how you are going about that is a kind of 5 minutes. Then there can be big presentation half an hour where you can go a little bit detail how you are going to make it. You give examples of how you think your idea is workable. So you should always ready with the three kinds of presentation: 5 seconds, 5 minutes, and 30 minutes. So you can depends on the time available with the customer or your potential customer. You can pitch your idea and get the feedback. So to conclude, market validation is very important before launching the product. Many of the entrepreneurs do the quick market survey about the product, not only about the desirable features, but sellability, at what price it is going to sell, and what kind of customers this product is useful, and which markets we should target it. All this will be coming handy for launching your product. So in the next class, we are going to discuss how to actually pitch your idea. So thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.